Yo, Momo, is you alright, girl?
Floyd Moneyman Tissian?
I'm here to help you, girl.
Whoa, why are you back? Where's your son? Wasn't that the whole reason you...
Girl, you know I'm a deadbeat. Stop playing. Nah, I'm just kidding. He's whipping the ship right now. Because on my planet, in order to get your license, I don't know how it is over here. You gotta be 16. But I figured I had the bright idea. Let me just teach this little nigga how to drive at 4 years old so then he could be ahead of the curve. So 2 days a week, I let him take the reins and whip that shit by himself without me even in there.
Hey, yo, Gran, what song you want me to sing while you coming down? Wait, no, I got one. Don't even answer that. I got one. Ready? Fucking Robertson, I don't know why this shit got me lazy right now. Yeah, can't do Percocets for my life. Ooh, I'm doing it wrong, trying to leave it up here, right, baby, who can?
Yeah, so with Dandadan, I haven't been covering it as of late just because I went and saw the movie, which I did kind of want to do a video on, but I couldn't find the time to do so. So as I'm covering the rest of the season, if I decide to drop a compilation video, I may incorporate the first 3 episodes and just kind of tag it onto that video. And speaking of the movie, I feel like that should have realistically ended where episode 4 ended, because it felt like everything wrapped up at the end of this one. Because we started right where the movie ended off with the keto diet family or whatever their name is. They're still antagonizing Momo, even though she just saved their lives, still talking about this worm spirit volcano buffoonery as she's running around this city trying to patch the hole with LeBron Shaboing Boing.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what is wrong with me, y'all. And keep in mind, me talking right now, this is me as I'm editing. This is not present me that you're watching. Well, it is, but it's not. Either way, I just wanted to take the time to apologize on behalf of that nigga for whatever he was spewing. Because current me, that's not me anymore. I've grown since then. And I won't be participating in any more rubbish like that nigga just said. But I'm just gonna steer clear from talking about other dudes' hugs. That's how I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. And will I stand firm on it? I hope so. Let's carry on.
But no, so this episode, it looked very minimalistic at first, but it was moving very smooth. Just the way Momo was running, the way she was getting chased by the goblin goons. And I don't feel like I was able to say it yet in one of these videos. I have said on the Patreon. But side note, this season's opening, I really like the song. Love the song, actually. And
while it's obviously not going to have as much of an impact as the first one, I'd still go to the club and shake my ass meat off the bone if this shit came on. Like, it's still really good. Click the subscribe button to JULZ. This caramel sweetness has all the cougars in a frenzy. Got a second channel too, so you should go subscribe to that. Let's continue this video before I keep singing like trash.
But no, so that aside, Granny Goblin goes completely horizontal and turns Momo into the letter C and gives her quite possibly one of the cleanest and destructive drop kicks I've ever seen with those dirty ass feet. And speaking of dirty ass kicks, as Grandma and her 2 goons are pulling up on Momo like the fucking shield, we see the dojo master pull up on them with a kick of his own with immaculate form. Look at this flexibility and look at this technique. Sharp as ever. I dead ass apologize because you showed up at the temple. I didn't even know that you were Queen Cougar's granddaughter. That changes a lot of things drastically, girl. Because she hit my line a week ago saying she wanted a link or something just like old times, and was also saying that y'all were coming through. And I just totally forgot about it.
3 squirts are coming to your neck of the woods, so keep an eye on them, will ya?
Wait, who's squirting? Yep, and that's what she told me, that she wanted me to be her sugar baby. So he starts 1v4ing the goons, and this is where out of nowhere, Gigi or Evil Eye, or if you even want to call this nigga Messi, the way he's working that ball, he pulls up out of nowhere and starts going absolutely ballistic. And this choreography is some of the best in the game, right? Like, deadass, the way that they animate their body moving and the fluidity and just the shots that they get, as well as like some of the moves that these niggas are hitting, is very JJK-esque to me. And every time I watch it, I'm like always thinking that this is not even an action show like that, but the action is some of the best in the game. Because we see Momo playing a crazy ass support role, and even after their beef, still is assisting Green Grandma. Gigi tries blitzing her again after she gets moved out the way. Here comes Rock Lee top rope. But you see Gigi adapt and then hit him with a drop kick to bounce his ass off the ground. And he's going for the final blow, but then Momo pulls his ass out the way again. It was such a good scene. And Gigi's going nuts until you know who pulls up. Gervonta Davis. And not only just Gervonta, but Queen Cougar with a freshly polished bat and a Capri 120 menthol in the mouth. And this shit deadass started to look like Shibuya. Because we see Gervonta pulling up on Gigi's right side, as tight a form you could have, just ready to unleash this flurry. He gets slugged the fuck out of here. And Granny takes the ones with him. I don't think we've even seen her fight yet like that, but she starts running a 60-second with him. And keep in mind, we've seen this nigga moving against Okaroon, against the 3 he was just fighting. Like, he is a very well-rounded specimen who, with the way he fights, a normal human being shouldn't even really be able to keep up with him. But you know who the fuck was? The cougar whose caboose accounts for 1/5 of her body weight. So it's like, I'm sitting here thinking she has weapon in hand. Prime Queen Cougar, probably wouldn't even need that. She was probably toasting dudes hand-to-hand combat back in her prime with the way she was keeping up with Evil Eye here. And kind of outplaying him too, though. He was Great camera work, by the way. He was throwing combinations, and she's weaving all of them, though. Gets a hit off on him. He tries getting a high kick in. She ducks. And I know her knees felt that one. That shit probably sounded like when a toad's croaking. But either way, she's still going at it, looking as magnificent as ever. Look at this shot. Holy mackerel. This woman is something special. And not even that. She spread out the Capri Menthol at him. Hit his eye just to disorient him for a second. Where keep in mind, if I'm Gigi, I'm eating that cigarette whole. That's... They're exchanging blows, and then I think she ran out of stamina, so then Taro gets in the prime no allows position.
And they must have given the cameraman a raise or something, because this shot where it looks like we're kind of running behind him and then we see him closing the distance between QC, Evil Eye, and himself. This was some of the most unique camera work I've seen in a minute. And one of the best shots I think I've seen in a fight, even if it was just a little section of it. I can't think of a lot of scenes from the shows that I've watched that kind of compare to this. And just in terms of like the uniqueness and the way they went about it, even if it was just a small little 5-second thing, it was just done really well.
And Evil Eye absolutely obliterated this nigga's existence. Had his ass looking like a jigsaw puzzle, at least I thought. But this was all part of the plan. Ended up Gojo in that fool. Prison realm. Shit's been the plan from the jump, and they got him good. But no, and at the end of that episode, we see Momo tweaking out. She's thinking Okarun has perished. Also, side note, I said in the reaction, don't remember when Javantalian got a nose.
But his sniffer aside, we see QC hit her smash ultimate victory pose, because she knows the performance she just put on and the plan that she concocted was some of the best work of her career, because that was beautiful ball by her. But after that, we see Momo tweaking out because she's obviously wondering whether or not Okarun survived Krakatoa exploding. And Javantalian Jr. was whipping this ship ferociously and was not only putting out these fires, but excavated Okarun and Turbo Granny out the lava, and they were protected because they got entrapped in that cheese whiz from the episodes prior, which ultimately saved their life.
And it was a very heartwarming moment where she's crying, they hug, and it was a very wholesome thing. And just the way they've been developing their relationship has been like the best part of the show for me, because not only just in this episode, even in the next one too, like you could see the progression and them taking meaningful steps, even if they're small ones. It really reminds me of myself to a degree. Not even trying to sound like corny with it, like I just feel like as a young man, like seeing the way Okarun acts is very comparable to not only the way I used to act with women, and at least how I used to feel inside. I may not have expressed it the same way he does, but I could definitely like feel those types of emotions within me. And I feel like a lot of dudes could relate to that. And it's just, I feel like it's getting represented in a really meaningful and thoughtful way. Aloha, aloha, anoke, aloha, 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 anoke, aloha. There's no place I'd rather be than on my surfboard out at sea, lingering in the ocean blue. And if I had one wish come true, I'd hope and I'd pray that we see Gigi come back. Awikiki mahau leoi. Open it up, let's see. But I'd say this was one of those in-between episodes where they're just mingling, regrouping, and just building relationships more with one another.
And we see them starting off with a little feast, and for some reason the food is in 4K and looks higher quality than life itself. I'm sure that shit tasted fantastic.
And I mean, we knew this, but this man Gigi knows ball. It seems like he's well versed in cougarometry, because as soon as he gets that hot water poured on him, straight out the curse, first sentence out of his mouth is, Aunt Seiko's still here, still looking as riveting and voluptuous as ever. Not even worried about his well-being first, just worried about if that burger's still tender. And that's why you gotta appreciate his character.
And his tweakage aside, in this episode, we saw two very important plot points. The first one being
where Okarun and Momo are sharing this moment in the car where she's like kind of inching to holding his hand.
And I don't care if I sound soft, because at the end of the day, we really all are. I just love, nigga. Like, seeing this shit was so wholesome and cute. It was really putting a smile on my face, but also making me upset, because it's just like, it's hard to find something organic like this now. You know, let me not get into it. If I start going, I won't stop. With the amount I could go on about this topic, that shit will turn into white noise that you just put on when you're going to sleep. We'd probably get to an 8 to 9 hour video. But this was just good altogether, man.
But we see him pull his hand away, and then she tells him to put it back, and then she starts like messing with it and just giving him what the woman back in my day used to call scratchies. But more importantly, that aside, we see QC in business attire, as if she didn't mean business already. We already knew the type of shit she's on. She's serious as it is. So I mean, this just took it to another level. If I see her dressed up in this apparel, this shit will have me saying words like obsequious and cacophony, which that's not in my day-to-day. I just looked those up. With the way I'd be talking, it would sound like I've been on point with my vocabulary workshop homework. Because if she means business, I could talk business, and I could talk it with 4+ syllable words. I'd be talking about, after we handle business with Gigi, let's rendezvous and have a romantic escapade out on the cliffside of Japan with white wine and a charcuterie board. I know what that is. That's the cheese shit. I know what that is. I'm telling, like, I'm becoming an adult, yo. And she would have to accept, because I know those cougars love that. But no, actual important plot point of this episode, after Gigi meets his parents who look nothing like him, we see that the Green Goblin family was actually a family of goblins all along. And this was like when Orochimaru took off his woman mask, which I don't know why he did. I missed that lady. She was bad. I'm just kidding. She gave me nightmares. We see Gigi throw her face on the tree and she turned into a real deal critter. And right after that, we see Okudun and Momo rendezvous at the crack of dawn before school and cue the edit.
Let's walk together!
Shit is so cute, dog. It makes me want to gouge my eyes out of my fucking head. This is young love, man. And it's just like we've all been there. I feel like I've been getting very sentimental this video, so I'm gonna try to stop. But just seeing this relationship develop is good stuff, man. But no, Momo invites Okudun and Ira to stay at her house for the time being while they get this Gigi situation under control. And we get like a final little roundup of everyone just chilling at the house, eating some hyper realistic food again, and just nice chill dialogue, which again is like the character relationships, not even just Okudun and Momo, just like everyone in general. I'd say that's like probably the best part about this show.
Yo, J Money, you feeling okay, or what's up with you? Ooh, no, I'll never get over you until I find something. Fuck Evil Eye, I gotta protect Momo from this nigga. And lastly, for this episode, they had a little bait and switch moment where you think Okudun's gonna drop the sauce on Gigi and make him combust, but then he does it. But then he gets the second sauce, and they have some SpongeBob ass moment where the littlest drop gets on his finger, and then it looks like someone dropped a boogie bomb. And going into this episode, I thought it was gonna be a full 24 minutes of them trying to get a hold of him again, but instead they suppress this nigga right out the floodgates and decide to call the Ginyu Force of rock bands to try and pry this demon out of him on some sinner shit, to where like their music is so transcendent that it could break into different realms of reality. And before we get started with their concert, we see Momo and Ira squabbling, and then we see QC. Ow! I'm sorry. I think I just tore both ACLs simultaneously because seeing her with the hair down made me jump about 30 feet up in the air. I got way too much airtime for being as heavy as I am. So on that landing, it was cataclysmic. And I really didn't intend to make this a drooling over QC video, but I mean, she's just had so many moments these last 3 episodes, it's kind of hard to ignore what she's doing. But no, so keep in mind, as I said before, I watched this shit in dub, so we see them turning up their amp, getting their warm-up shots in before they perform. And it's like, I could tell that they were baiting us and that they were actually going to perform well, even though this nigga broke his bass string before we even started. But I didn't expect this performance to be one of the best OSTs I've ever seen in an anime. Like, these dudes started shredding. I watched the scene both in English and Japanese. It damn near sounded the same. I don't know what English voice actor they got to do this part, but it sounded like they got Steven Tyler on the pipes because he was going absolutely berserk. This alone, after this performance finished, I was dead ass convinced that this was the best episode of the show. Because this sequence of them playing some shit you'd hear in Guitar Hero,
and just the visual effects, and as I said before, this deadass felt like that Sinner scene. And if this is that scene, you know what, I'm not even gonna say it because I feel like I've just been going back to back with this shit. It's unhealthy at this point. Let's just say I lied to you. I love the blues. That's all I'm gonna say. One more time. Somebody take me in your arms tonight.
But no, the shots that they were getting, some of the still frames were some of the best in the show. And then that mixed with everyone starting to turn up, bobbing their head, with Psycho doing the same shit, and him starting to levitate. Oh my goodness. And while this Super Bowl performance is going on, we see Gigi crying to not exercise his demons because he's just a little kid who wants to play with other kids or something like that. So then QC puts a halt to this operation. This fiasco is over. I'll cash app you guys when I go inside and get situated. The Evil Eye is now one of the homies, so accept him with open arms.
Huh?
Ooh.
Huh? What? What type of malarkey is this?
Sorry I made you guys come all the way out here. I greatly appreciate your services, though, and you guys should go mainstream with that. Seriously. Quit your 9-to-5s and just push for it. You don't have to apologize. Honestly, I mean, call us over anytime, Psycho. And would it be possible to do Zell instead of the car shop? Grandma, are you sure about this? You heard the kid.
Okay, hold the phone. So does this mean we're supposed to keep an eye on him forever now? Because I am most definitely not doing that. He doesn't care about any of us, and I'm not messing up my makeup time and time again to just save his ass. If anything, he should be sending me bread.
Okay, girl, then go somewhere. Damn. I mean, I guess I'll just have to get stronger and do what I gotta do to protect him. I'll just lock in the gym. I've been going 3 days a week. I'll get some cardio in there too, and I'll make it 5.
Are you crazy? Why would you go out of your way for him and put yourself in danger like that?
No, girl, I'm not crazy. I'm just that nigga. And I mean, that's my friend we're talking about. I don't got a reptilian heart like you, so I mean, I actually have some empathy and sympathy up in that motherfucker. So Okarum was spitting heat. His girl was falling madly in love with him. And it was just a very heartfelt scene. At this halfway point, I'm already kind of under the impression that this is one of the best episodes in the show, definitely top 5. And I don't think I'm crazy to say that this back half of it, in terms of how the characters were interacting with each other, was also some of the best that we've seen in the show. Because Ginyu Metal, they head out, starts downpouring. We see QC rocking the high ponytail, and she's just experimenting. She's just trying shit to try. She's not even a high ponytail type of woman, but she knows who's watching. Us charcuterie niggas. I'm telling you, bringing it back to that. I'd send her an edible arrangement out of those meats and cheeses every single month. Let me carry on. But we see them go inside. She's giving demands like a dominatrix on like grounding techniques and channeling your chi. Telling this nigga to sit like a dog. I made too many comments up to this point, so I'm not even gonna comment on this. But this was that very organic and relatable part about this episode when they were having this little sleepwalking scene. There's little to no dialogue. You just hear the wind in the background, the floorboards creaking, and Okudun and Gigi having their middle of the night piss. Because it's like, I don't know how it is for y'all, but if I'm sleeping over at someone's house, I usually have these frequently. If I'm at my own house in the comfort of my bed, I think my body knows that I could just chill. But it seems like whenever I'm on a trip and I'm in a hotel room with people or spend the night at someone's house at between like 2 and 4 a.m., those are heavy stream hours. And it's like, if I don't wake up and go do that, then I'm gonna be pissing the sheets. I just don't understand the science behind it. But it was like these little details too, like when Okarum's waiting in queue for the bathroom and he does the little footage. I do that shit all the time. I love those little details, man. And it's just like that with the scene where Momo opens the door and she's got this face going on, damn near still sleeping, and Ira's in the background sounding like round 17 on Zombies, and just Okarun and Gigi bonding as well. Next day comes along, everyone's eating breakfast, Gigi's learning his chi positions. And side note, going back to the detail thing really quick, them showing Ira doing her 17-step skincare routine with exfoliating and everything, and just seeing her then start to do her makeup and her eyebrows being thin and then her thickening them out and doing the eyeliner, and just like you seeing the progression with it as if like it was some real life shit. Even like those details which really weren't even necessary, but they just like kind of put them there to give the scene more realism. It just makes that experience watching it so much better, because you just appreciate the time and effort it took to do the things like that. But that aside, after eating their hyper realistic breakfast, they go to school.
Takakura-kun, are you sure you have everything? You remember to do your homework? And you ate all your breakfast, brush your teeth, put on clean underwear today?
Yes, girl, damn.
My stomach hurts, man, damn.
Probably because you slept with that sludge of a stomach out all night.
And you didn't cover it? Takakura, you would never want to spend the night in the same room as this woman. All night she was flopping like those Dot's last video. It was really gross, and she had like snot bubbles going everywhere. Oh my gosh.
Oh, shut the fuck
My
up!
makeup without even asking, like get your bread up, girl.
You
know what
literally
I'm
said
saying?
I could! And how are you talking about sleeping when your ass sounded like a V12 engine in that motherfucker?
And this episode ends with Momo saying that she needs to get her money up because she's living with pennies to her name. And with that new job that she gets in a matter of, I'd say 5 minutes, her 2 girlfriends pull up to Okarun since she's not hanging with them and take him out. And that nigga was probably going through hell, man. His stats for the day were probably 10 stores, 4 Starbucks, and 5 were almost done. That's just how it is when you're going out on the town with women. And if you're with the girl that you like, I'll go out all day. I don't care. But there is a point in time about 30 minutes into it where I'm getting severely fatigued. And at whatever store we go to, I have to find a spot to sit at. Ladies, I'm not a dater. I don't date, and I won't shake them. I won't shake the dreads. Just unhand me, guys. Damn.
Like, what do you mean we're getting tea? That sounds like a date.
If Momo took Gigi out for tea, would that be a date? Preposterous. No way on planet Earth would that be considered a date. And I'll be damned if I caught that man sipping herbal infusions with her in public. That wouldn't happen in the first place. But no, so they drag this man through the city. He tries escaping multiple times, but I mean, they're running a sensational double team on him and he has nowhere to go. To where we eventually get to the reason why they were taking him out, which I thought initially was just them replacing Momo for the day, since she can't hang out with them, and just wanted a third person in their party. But they end up taking him to her job, where she's working at a maid cafe. And it's like, this is the shit I'm talking about. Like, just her being embarrassed and them pushing Okarun towards her It's like I've had situations like this, not where the girl I was talking to was working in a maid cafe, but like where my friends or like the friends of hers were kind of like pushing me to like make a move and stuff like that, and just see it was just another one of those wholesome cute scenes. And they've been really focusing on like their relationship building these last 3 episodes. Like it's been really apparent ever since the Evil Eye incident, and it's been great to see. And that's where we're at right now. These last 3 episodes, this season in general has been really good, man. And it's been good in a very different way than I feel like season 1 was, because season 1 felt like something random every single episode, and not a lot of character development was being had. More so just a lot of characters were being introduced, and the only development was really between Momo and Okunu. But this season I feel like we're getting a lot more involvement, obviously since the characters were already introduced, but like we're getting a lot more involvement with Gigi and like with Javantalian and with Ira. And I'm thinking about, that's not to say that the development was not present in season 1, because obviously we had like the Ira episode and stuff like that, but it just seems like we have a lot more scenes of them just talking. I really do like those, and Okunu's been going crazy. His stocks have been going up for sure. So yeah, it's been a good time, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it moving forward. If I'm gonna do Dandadan every week or every other week, we'll see. I think it probably just depends on the episode and what's in it. So you may or may not see another Dandadan video next week, but if y'all stay to the end, appreciate y'all for watching. By the time this comes out, should be Friday. I may be streaming later today if I can get it set up properly. And just make sure y'all sub to this channel, sub to the second channel, and I appreciate y'all for watching. And without further ado, on to the next one. And yeah, that's it.